The final stretch of the Big South Conference season arrives at Kimmel Arena as we get set for a key clash between Charleston Southern and UNC Asheville. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kyle Rush along with my partner John Williams, and both these teams have a lot to prove coming down the stretch of the season, trying to make a statement and set themselves up for March.
Well, definitely, both teams are looking to make noise in the Big South Conference, and we talked about the girls earlier, but the boys, there's also parity within the league. Aside from Winthrop, who actually just dropped one to Radford, you don't know who's going to be able to beat who. UNC Asheville showed the capability of beating everybody, and so has Charleston Southern. And so it should make for a very interesting Big South tournament.
Some of the key playmakers that'll take us through this one. You can't talk about these Charleston Southern Buccaneers without mentioning Flanders Fleming. 7 20-point games this year. That is the most out of any other player in the Big South Conference.
Yeah, Fleming has been on a mission this year with Charleston Southern's personnel being dwindled due to injuries and other things. He has had to take on that leadership role offensively and carry the brunt. And he has been efficient, doing everything his team needs him to do. One of the most efficient players in the NCAA is what his coach told us. And so you got to look for a big game from Flanders Fleming in order for Charleston Southern to have a chance tonight in Kimmel Arena.
He had 25 points last time these teams met, and also a big factor last time these met was Devon Baker for UNC Asheville. The sophomore has led them in scoring all year, part of a high-talented core for UNC Asheville. He has lots of ways he can hurt you.
Yeah, Devon Baker has a plethora of different ways that he can score the ball. As of late, it's been coming from starting out from that three-point line, which he was a little low at when he first got started in the Big South Conference play. Not shooting it from a high clip from the three-point line, just getting to the basket in mid-range. Now he's in a situation where he is also knocking down that three, which makes him deadly on all three levels. He's good at all three levels, but now he's deadly there. And so you got to always watch out for him and what he brings to the table offensively, and you got to mark him whenever you're on the floor.
And I think Baker, just a sophomore as well, he had 17 last time these two teams met. The early portion of the Big South schedule for the Bulldogs was a tale of close games. The first 5 all decided by 2 points. The Bulldogs went 1-4 in those games, including against these Buccaneers. That was the game in that stretch that the Bulldogs came away with a win. Charleston Southern, meanwhile, has had a lot of success here in the Tar Heel State. They've beaten every other Big South foe on the road, the likes of Gardner-Webb, High Point, Campbell. They're trying to make it a perfect 4-0 through North Carolina, something their program has never done.
Well, that just shows their experience, too. They definitely got several experienced players on that team that know how to close games out. While with UNC Asheville, they have struggled, and that's why you see those 2-point margins, because they're good enough to play with everybody in this league. But they haven't found that consistency to close those games out, and a lot of that comes with maturity and getting older and growing from those losses that you take.
Before we get started, let's go over some of the keys to the game for the Buccaneers. This is a team that's athletic. They love to get to the charity stripe.
And how you get to the charity stripe is getting paint touches, getting into the lane off their drives. This is a very good team that likes to get downhill, working inside out. Fleming is one of the catalysts to that. He's the go guy for them. They do a lot of pick and roll actions where he will get in the paint, draw 2 or 3, and kick it out to his teammates. They can knock down the 3. And don't get them going in the open floor, because once they do that, they're scary because defense isn't set, and they all have the ability to knock down the 3.
The defensive pressure for the Bulldogs will also be key. They forced 14 turnovers last time they met. See the turnover margin disparity there. Defense leads this Bulldogs team to offense, and it starts with a really tough full-court pressure attack.
And the defensive pressure will be able to wear down Charleston Southern if they do their job tonight, the Bulldogs. And the reason being is because Charleston Southern has 7 scholarship players on their roster right now that are playing in this game. So they're going to go light in their bench. They can't go deep in it because they don't have one. And so they can take advantage, UNC Asheville can take advantage of that by applying pressure the entire game, where Charleston advantage to get easy buckets.
So we are underway, as you'll see your Sunbelt starting lineups scrolling across the bottom of the screen. The starters, how about this? 5 of the top 15 scorers in the conference on the floor as we get started. 3 ball right out of the chute. That one too strong. And long rebound comes to the Buccaneers, and they'll operate from there. as Buskey is at the controls for Charleston Southern.
And that's a rare miss for a Cody Jude, who is definitely capable of knocking down that three-pointer at a high clip.
That one rattles out, so a pair of defensive stops get us started as Thorpe brings into the front court a capable scorer in his own right. 10 rebounds in their last meeting. Not bad for a guy from the guard position.
And yeah, that's the thing. Because UNC Asheville goes small ball, LJ Thorpe has the mismatch with the post player for the opposing teams.
Defense to offense leads Buskey to our first bucket of the ball game. And Barclay Rambaugh in his 15th season has to love that he's seen start-wise for the defensive pressure from his Buccaneers.
Yeah, great defense leads to easy baskets.
Thorpe thought about the triple. Swings it far corner. Off a dribble, looking to get inside. They do. Rejected. Access was denied at the rim. Jones up and under. He's fouled. And he'll go to the line for a pair. But how about the rim protection from Flanders Fleming? We talked about his offense. He had none of that drive.
Yeah, and that's what Flan Fleming does. He's not just an offensive threat. He's also a defender. He'll pick up your best player, guard them the entire game. But then also he rebounds the ball. And that's what Coach Radebaugh was talking about with him being one of the most efficient players in the nation, with just everything he brings to the table on all categories on the offensive and defensive end.
Tajon Jones gets to the free throw line, just shy of 15 points a game. And how about the starting five for the Bulldogs? And it's certainly the core of their scoring output, where you look at the seasonal averages and the lowest one is 9.5 a game. 4 of the 5 starters for Asheville in the top 15 in the conference in scoring. And you see a big reason why with some of the shooters they bring on the floor.
Well, it's just hard to mark up. I mean, you usually don't have the personnel to mark 5-on-5, all right, especially if there's 5 offensively talented players. And so if, let's say that Tajon Jones gets going, then you got to mark on him. But then all of a sudden, LJ Thorpe gets going downhill. You got to mark on him. Then Devon Baker, you got to mark on him. And then you've got LeVar Batch. You got to mark on him. All double-digit scores in the Big South. And then Cody Jude's available with the 3-ball. And so it's just tough. Tough team to deal with.
Nice pass to Jones inside. He has the first 3 for the Bulldogs, as Asheville has their first lead of the afternoon. Ty Jones, the junior, at the point for the Bucks, looking for an opening. Finds Fleming. He looks to dance. Double comes immediately. Lob inside. There's a turnover and a foul. It'll be whistled against Duncan Lexander, sophomore out of Davidson. And Jones a little slow to get up, but he pops to his own feet. And you see how Mike Morrell in his second season at the helm of the Bulldogs wants to face Fleming, throw as many defenders as possible his way. That time the trap works to perfection.
Well, that's the thing. Once Fleming gets rid of the ball, if he's not bringing the ball up the floor, UNC Asheville's going to try to red him and limit his touches, because they know that he is the wheel that makes the offense for Charles. When he doesn't have the ball, their offense is inefficient.
Thorpe, tough turnaround. No, Fleming, another rejection at the rim as he swats it off the MAC board. Here they come the other way. Hesitation, drive, and finish. A nice move from Buskey that time. And it's now the Bucks who go back on top.
And Buskey has been a great 1-2 punch with Fleming. One of the things he does really well is when he runs the floor, Fleming is one of those players that has the ball, and when he runs, he's open for that 3-ball, and he's capable of knocking that down at a high clip.
Baker on the board for the first time this evening as he slashes to the rim, something he does so well. He puts it on the floor once, and all of a sudden, he's in the paint. Work around the perimeter now. Do the Buccaneers against this Asheville defense. Timer down to 10. Buskey will try the triple around and out. No good. Baker the rebound. Baker crossover dribble, looks to create. And Jude thought about the triple, thought better of it. They'll set the offense. And Buskey nearly interrupted things as he poked it into the stands. As they had to find it among the first row, and another key deflection. Asheville will inbound with 17 to shoot. Baker awaits for a screen. Pass around the horn. Bobbled it did a moment. Did Batts Jr. Now full steam ahead on Buskey. The floater is good.
That's the thing about LeVar Batts Jr. He is a physical guard that loves to get downhill. You know, he takes on the physicality. He wants it. And so he jumped right into Buskey's volley knowing he had the size advantage. I mean, that's an ACC level guard there. And so he's going to jump into his body every single time he gets the opportunity.
A foul, and they'll count it. How about the sidestep as he poured it in as Travis Anderson will get a chance at the +1 to tie it up when you come back. But early on, it's been the defense of Fleming at the rim, but it's the Bulldogs 1 point.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading protection to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Music make you lose control.
Rock a showstopper, beats get it crunk and wired. Wave your hands, scream loud. Everybody here get it out of control.
Geico makes it easy to get help when I need it. With licensed agents available 24/7, it's not just easy. It's having Jerome Bettis on your flag football team easy. Go get him, Bus!
Ooh. Come on, Bus. Come on. Hey, wait. Man, I got the flag. I got your flag, man. I got your flag.
It's Geico Easy, with licensed agents available 24/7.
49-0.
This Big South broadcast is brought to you in part by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit Geico.com today. And Sunbelt Rentals. We have equipment for that.
Back inside Kimmel Arena, Kyle Rush along with John Williams. And John, it was a big play right before that first time out for Charleston Southern by Travis Anderson, finding a way to get to the free throw line for the +1.
Well, yeah, and the shot clock was winding down, so Charleston Southern had some desperation under them right there. So he did a great job of stepping to the open space. There wasn't much, right? And so he had to step to the open space with the side step, manipulated the defense, got the ball up, created some contact, and made the shot.
Knocks down the free throw as well and knocks the game up at 7. This is a team very good from the free throw line. They shoot at nearly 80% as a team. They often making you pay when they get to the stripe. Crossover dribble into the lane, drive, kick. That's how he likes it. Jude from the corner pocket.
That is how he likes it, sir. That is way too much space. We talked about that. A late closeout on Cody Jude is a layup.
Corner triple paying dividends. Back to a 3-point lead for the Bulldogs. Trying to answer with one of his own. That one rattles through. It's Anderson, the redshirt freshman, with 6 early for the Bucks.
Charleston Southern is just taking advantage of what UNC Asheville is giving them. UNC Asheville has a plan here to guard against Flan Fleming, who loves the high ball screen actions. And so what they're doing is they're double teaming Flan on the high ball screen action, and then there's somebody open there.
Thorpe, a tough take as he kisses it off the glass to the right side, and he's so good when he goes that way, even contested, able to get it off the window, and it's the Bulldogs back in front.
Well, LJ Thorpe's just good at getting downhill. I mean,
Yeah.
he's just tough, man. I mean, he can finish both ways, and tough shots, and Mike Morrell understands that.
Opposite corner pass, it's Anderson again. Fleming the assist. Anderson already with 9 here in the first 6 minutes. Thorpe back to work, hesitates, turnaround, fader, got it.
and that's what we talked about. Post players have to guard L.J. Thorpe, which is a mismatch in itself. Guards have trouble guarding. And so you've got to sit down and move your feet and then also guard the pump fake actions that he'll have and all the other contingencies that he brings to the table.
Bats pitch ahead. Jab step drive. Jones lost the handle on the way up. And it's Buskey, who's also had his hand in a couple of key plays early on for Charleston Southern, creates the turnover, but the hot hand has been Travis Anderson, already with 9 points, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc, plus 3 points the old-fashioned way.
And Anderson's just taking advantage of the mismatch there. Because there's a double team, somebody's open somewhere, and it's usually him.
Drive by Jones that time. Quick, and a foul as Matz Jr. went for a spill down the lane. We'll bring up the first whistle against the Bucks. It's Buskey's first. And you'll see some new Bulldogs. Jamon Battle checks in, as does Jeremy Peck, the Houston native, as they get set to trigger the inbound. Handoff comes right back to Bats. They try to get it to Peck. Opposite wing pass. What a find. Couldn't quite execute the delivery. Peck back up. Finishes. On his senior night, he's got the early deuce.
That's a big finish for Jeremy Peck there. I mean, definitely showing something that you don't usually see from him, which is his ability to finish over both shoulders, too. It's just usually not what's asked of him from his team. He sets great screens, puts a body on people, and gets everybody open. He's actually kind of like a point forward that facilitates. You see him doing that right now.
Step back jumper. Baker, tough jumper, won't fall. Fleming the rebound. He waits for traffic to clear, then fires ahead. Dancing into the lane this time. Access denied.
Great block from Jamon Battle there.
Jamon Battle came weak side and wiped out the would-be shot attempt. It's the Bulldogs with a 1-point lead. Ticket Smarter, the smarter way to buy tickets to live events. If you're looking to experience and enjoy the power and excitement of all the best sports, concerts, and theater events, visit Ticketsmarter.com and download the app today. And don't miss out. Smart fans start at Ticketsmarter.com. And I tell you what, John, the fans that have come into attendance for this one have seen an entertaining 8 minutes of basketball, a 1-point Bulldogs lead as the Bucks have it under their own bucket.
Well, it's been fast, and so that's both teams like to get up and down, and so we're probably going to see strategies adjust as time progresses in this game.
with under 10. It's Buskey again to the 10. It has been Buskey combined with Anderson really leading the show for the Bucks early on in scoring. They have 15 of the first 17 for the Bucks. Opposite wing pass, there's Baker. 10 on the timer. Around a Peck screen, they go under. He fires over, misfires. Fleming the rebound.
And that's a rare sight, seeing Devon Baker miss 3 shots. Usually just doesn't do it.
Buskey for 3 more. Yes, sir.
And Buskey has just been great on the defensive end, too, and really making life terrible for the guard play. But then on the offensive end, just finishing how he's supposed to finish. The fast break, getting to the basket for layups, and then knocking down the 3.
The Buccaneers have started 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. And trying for 3 the old-fashioned way. Devon Baker a chance at the +1 as he sidesteps a screen of his own.
He definitely wasn't going to miss 4.
All set up from the screen from Jeremy Peck, and now Baker a chance to make it count for 3. A crafty move for Baker, and he has had quite the sophomore campaign as he dumps in the free throw. 17 points last time these teams met, and already off to a hot start tonight, averaging over 16 a night.
I assumed UNC Asheville was going to apply different types of defensive sets, but of trying to apply ball pressure to throw Charleston Southern out of their offense.
Clear path to the rack. It's Anderson again. He's already got 11 for the Bucks. Hesitates. Baker couldn't finish, but again draws the foul. And we talked about the Buccaneers finding ways to the free throw line. It has been the Bulldogs now the last couple of possessions, as they'll get free throw attempts 5 and 6 on the evening.
That was a great take for Devon Baker to really understand that there wasn't much help side there. So he just took the basket, went baseline and scored, or tried to score.
I think you hit on an underrated aspect of his and players like Thorpe and Jones's game as well, seeing beyond the defender in front of them and what's behind that once you clear your man, and he read it well that time. Gets the Bulldogs back within 1, and here's that pressure you alluded to a moment ago. Anderson able to handle it, and now they'll get into the defensive set, including their head man Mike Morrell with him. Step in 3, a little heat check perhaps, too strong.
And that's the thing, Trent Stephanie went under the screen, and with Anderson shooting the way he's shooting, you just don't want to make that risk.
Stephanie now in the controls. Feeds Thorpe. Backdoor, nice job by Buskey getting the passing lane, reading it. He's off to the races, to the rack. It'll count, and 1.
Buskey is doing a fantastic job of letting his defense do the talking and executing on the offensive end after that.
Finish through contact. And a strong move. So much talk coming in, and rightfully so, about Fleming, who had 25 points in their last meeting. He also had 21 points with 15 rebounds on Thursday night on the road at High Point. And off the missed free throw, quickly surging ahead, a foul, and the Buccaneers slow to get up. It looks like they banged knees on the drive, but no surprise, it's LeVar Batts creating the excitement down low. And so looks to be a stinger. That the good news as they help him toward the sideline. Looks like Nate Lewis, the 5'11 senior out of Miami, Florida, and you hope they just bang knees there and they'll be able to shake it off and get back into the ball game.
Yeah, and that's what you're hoping, especially with the depleted bench that Charleston Southern already has. We just talked
Yeah.
about them having 7 scholarship players that are playing right now. After that, you just don't have much behind you. And then one of those scholarship players are actually a walk-on who Coach Radenbaugh gifted. It was a cool little spectacle there, gifted them the scholarship.
That was quite the sight to see that. And anytime you're part of a team that witnesses a moment like that, and my favorite thing about seeing moments like that, John, is how the teammates react. They know all the work that goes in from all those walk-ons behind the scene, and to see someone emerge and earn that scholarship, really a cool sight that Coach Radenbaugh gifted him the scholarship, and then to see the teammates have his back as well. That was pretty cool seeing down there in Charleston as Thorpe connected on the first, makes good on the second as well. It's back to a 1-point game as Fleming gives to Jones, back to Fleming, yet to score, but has made an impact in this game. A couple of blocks already on the defensive end.
Oh, yeah, he's making the right basketball play. He's hitting the open man. He's got blocks. He's got assists.
Extra pass, another three in the corner. It's Anderson again. Have yourself a first half. He has 14. Stepney in the lane, can't finish. Fleming the rebound.
UNC Ashford's going to have to make the adjustment to Anderson, because what he's doing right now is just making the right basketball play.
Three ball well off the mark that time from Alexander. And Stepney into the front court. Gives Thorpe. Now they'll reset. Anderson has been the story. Thorpe, tough fadeaway jumper. That one won't fall. It's tough, although he would tell you he's upset that he missed that one.
Oh, yeah. That's his shot. Like, a lot of the 5 that are on UNC Asheville's starting lineup, they practice tough shots, and they make those.
Thorpe gets the steal. The Bulldogs on a 3-on-2 all the way to the 10. Thorpe glides in and finishes with a left hand. Fleming not wanting to pick up that second foul, and Thorpe went right down Broadway.
And I got the call of the game of Charleston Southern against USC Upstate, and Upstate made their run once Flanders Fleming got into foul trouble. So he's going to do his best to stay in that game. Oh, great move, great post move.
Ty Jones rolls it in off the spin. Bulldogs waste little time. The opposite way, the reversal. And bats quickly on the board.
And that's a tough finish. You can definitely tell the level of play and intensity that LeVar Batts brings to the game.
Fleming wanting to dance. Thorpe over to Jones. Timeout, Charleston Southern, as the Bulldogs have tied things up at 29. As they go coast to coast, defense to offense. That was the story in the Buck Dome, and the Bulldogs have used it to draw even. Entertaining first half. Don't go anywhere. Tied up with 7 to go until halftime on ESPN3. And now Pepsi presents What Fans Like, because Pepsi knows what fans like. Most fans certainly came into Kimmel Arena dressed for the occasion, members of the Ultimate Frisbee team, and John saying they're camera shy would not be an accurate statement.
People that throw Frisbees always want the limelight.
Make sure you pick up an ice-cold, refreshing Pepsi today. Pepsi, that's what fans like. It has been an entertaining ball game and pretty good atmosphere inside Kimmel Arena. 29 apiece. It has been high tempo with playmakers making plays, but Fleming has not scored yet. At least not yet. His first shot finds the barrel.
And all he did was take advantage of his opportunity presented. Oh, and what you're seeing now is Charleston Southern start to run out of their zone press. They do a great matchup zone.
The Bulldogs in that man-to-man had found several good looks right at the rim. Here's the pick and slide. Oh, mercy, what a move from Jeremy Peck. He's got 4. You know, all the time people use player movement. Stephanie, the steal, couldn't finish. Nearly got it back again from Buskey, and now Buskey will settle it down.
That was a freshman move right there.
Backdoor cut, wide open. As Jones the beneficiary. It's back to a 3-point Charleston Southern lead. Stephanie back at the controls. Couple really good examples, John, of player movement without the basketball last few minutes. Here's another. Peck, right-handed hook, you bet.
Peck is having himself a game today.
I think it has to do with that senior day mojo, perhaps.
Oh,
His
yeah.
family in attendance, and Buskey lost it out of bounds.
Yeah, his people are here. You can definitely tell he's playing for him.
Little wry grin as he came up the floor that last time, but it's appropriate. You've followed this Bulldogs team, and you quickly find that Jeremy Peck is a lot of that glue, that unsung glue. Doesn't necessarily fill a stat sheet, but a big part of what Asheville has done throughout his career.
And he's been open a few times just off of the screens that he set.
3 ball on the way, Judy no. As Jude couldn't quite get the triple to fall. He hit that corner 3 earlier. Now Fleming evaluates. And here comes that trap. Dribbles around 1. Had his pocket picks. Devon Baker to Jones. The flush.
That's what UNC Asheville does so well when they get out on the open floor. They attack and get to the basket very quickly.
And just like that, the Bulldogs back in front.
What you're getting is very efficient minutes from UNC Asheville's bench.
Came in 3 ball, not this time, missed short. Jones quickly ahead. Opposite wing pass, and mentioned the bench play of the Bulldogs. Normally a big part of the story is that starting 5 with 3 scores inside the top 15. Reversal pass, perhaps ill-advised, but Jones able to track it down and keep the possession alive. 8 on the timer as Bats handles. Spin cycle, wrap around and throw it away.
And at that point, once you've done a fantastic move like that, just go up with it.
Mike Morrell left to scratch his head in his 2nd season, and he has a word with the youngster. They laugh about it. Bulldogs by 1. Back inside Kimmel Arena. Fun crowd on hand, man. I tell you what, this has been an up and down type affair throughout this ball game. And you look at the stat sheet, and two players really standing out for the Buccaneers. Travis Anderson already has 14. Buskey, not to be outdone, has 11. Combined, they're 10 of 14 from the field, and they've been a big part of the story despite the Bulldogs doubling Fleming.
Yes, they've taken advantage of the open spots presented from UNC Asheville's defense. Now, UNC Asheville's defense is high risk, high reward, meant to create a lot of turnovers, but it also leaves somebody open. And what Buskey and Anderson are doing is they are finding the open men, and they are the open men, and they're getting the shots in the basket.
You mentioned that move that LeVar Batts Jr. made right beforehand, and you saw all that room in front of him to the 10, almost surprised perhaps that he was that open, and led to a turnover and left Mike Morrell scratching his head. And that's one, if I had to guess, that LeVar Batts will probably see in the film room tomorrow.
Yes, he's already looking at him like, hey, I cannot wait to break that down. I've had a few of those where the coach is just like, hey, what were you thinking here?
Is that one as a player that you enter the film room the next day and you said, oh, I know this moment's coming?
You already know what time it is, man. I mean, just prepare yourself.
Pull-up jumper, it's Anderson again. I'll tell you what, he's going to love the game film the way his first half has gone.
Oh, yeah, this is highlight tape to go overseas. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Gives the Buccaneers the lead again. And 16 first half points for Travis Anderson, who only averages 8 a contest coming in. The note on him is he's been a key catalyst off the bench. Well, I think he might find his way to the starting 5 as Jones took a half step too far and commits the offensive foul.
Charleston Southern is really experimenting with that zone to save their legs on the defensive and offensive end. Very smart play for Coach Radebaugh, especially with the last 3 minutes to go in this half.
Nice job defensively by Jones getting outside that restricted arc. Setting time to take the charge. Now his team with a 1-point lead in the basketball. And Anderson works against Baker. Sidesteps into the paint, looking for room. Jones, turnaround jumper. Oh, how sweet it is.
Oh, that is a smooth turnaround from Jones. Now, Jones has the advantage, too, against Thorpe, which is he's a post player that likes to get physical down there, and he's got the size advantage slightly over Thorpe.
He saw him back his way in as soon as he got a three-point line, got to his spot, and grooved home the jumper. Baker turns the corner off the window. How about that for a finish?
Great drive for Devon Baker. If you're UNC Asheville, you want to have a little bit better flow on offense, not just kind of putting your head down and going, all right, because what you're seeing from Charleston Southern is them just scoring off a solid offense.
Anderson shakes, bakes, looks to get into the paint. Drive, finds Buskey for the triple. Too strong. Thorpe pulls down the miss, full steam ahead, and he lost the handle going in. It'll go back over to the Buccaneers. And if you're Mike Morrell, you talk about the defensive side of things, you really have to like the job they're doing on Fleming, because he only has 3 points. He's only taken 2 shots, but that's a veteran type play too from Fleming, not forcing a lot of tough shots.
Oh no, yeah, Fleming's done a fantastic job of finding the open man. He's contributing in other factors, whether it's the defensive end or finding the open man on offense.
Here he had it taken away a couple times. The Bulldogs have picked his pocket. Step back, Baker, triple.
And that's the specialness of having a player like Devon Baker on your team who can just go out and get a bucket. We call them bucket getters, right? Like, he's one of those guys. But then you also got L.J. Thorpe, who can go out and get one. Tajon Jones can go out and get one. It's what makes this UNC Asheville team so deadly.
And Baker now with 10 points and the foul away on the pressure. 14 foul for the Bulldogs. As the Buccaneers trailing by 2. Drive inside. Kick and a pass too low right through the pipes. As Alexander couldn't follow. And is that one, John, where you see the turnaround that Jones had a couple possessions prior? You ask for him to go to it again there?
Well, Jones was thinking to himself, okay, if I can get a solid chest pass to my teammate, he's going to have an open 3. And he saw the better basketball play, just made a bad pass outside of the shooter's pocket.
Bats wrap around. Baker thought about the triple. Now he drives. He lost the handle and a foul going the other way. That one's on Baker.
And that's one of those situations where LeVar Batts draws defenders. He had the curl pass hit Baker for that pass. Baker's got to knock that down.
Here got the head fake, but it's one perhaps after the head fake you like to see a step and fire. Final 40 seconds of the half as Fleming will bring it across for the Buccaneers. 3 points for him tonight, but he has facilitated the offense in more ways than one. Wrap around and perhaps necessary deflection from Jones because Buskey, who's already delivered a couple times from three-point land, was waiting on yet another pass.
Yeah, that's the risk. Once they have Fleming going off of the ball screen action, 2 are going to go on them. Somebody's open. Charleston Southern's hit the open man every single time, and they've usually made UNC Asheville pay for it.
Fleming, tough step back, not close. Bulldogs can hold for 1, but they're looking to run. Jones swarmed by Buccaneer defenders as he gets it to Baker. 5 to fire. Baker on Buskey. Step back. Not this time. Fleming grabs the rebound. That's how an entertaining first half comes to a close. Back and forth, we've gone for 20 minutes. And it's the Bulldogs who nudge out in front by 2. We'll break it all down for you on the Geico halftime show when we return to Kimmel Arena on ESPN3.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading protection to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
We do this every day for men suffering from prostate cancer. The Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute treats several types of cancers: breast, lung, prostate, head and neck, ocular, GI, brain and spine, pediatric. There are no hospital stays with proton beam radiation. The beam travels right to the affected area and stops, which leads to fewer side effects. Call us now. It could make all the difference.
Live your life. Let the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute fight your cancer.
We dare to connect curiosity and critical thinking, opportunity and responsibility, imagination and impact. We expand horizons and have room for every voice. Our education is affordable, adaptive, and endlessly relevant because your future is a frontier, vast, bright, and close enough to touch. We are the only public liberal arts and sciences university in North Carolina, a campus of true originals. Come join us.
Academic excellence, experiential learning, NCAA Division I athletics, a spirited college experience. One place, Charleston, South Carolina. One very special college, Charleston Southern University, integrating faith in learning, leading, and serving. Visit charlestonsouthern.edu and get started today.
For the best in Big South coverage, visit BigSouthSports.com and stay current with the latest news, results, stats, standings, and much more Enjoy video features showcasing remarkable student athletes or connect to school sites or social media outlets, all from one place. Remember, the source for all your conference information is BigSouthSports.com. Find the best variety of officially licensed merchandise and conference and school branded items at BigSouthStore.com. Gear up with some new apparel or find that perfect gift. Get fully equipped for all your game day fun at BigSouthStore.com. And fans, reminder to get social with the Big South. Join the always growing network of Big South fans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and more. You can also follow the conference source for game updates and on-site championship coverage via Twitter at Big South Game Day. Follow, watch, like, and share with the Big South Conference. For when traveling is a good thing, find out how much fun you could save on car insurance with a fast, free quote from Geico at Geico.com. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And make sure you get the home team advantage wherever you go with Marriott Bonvoy. Wherever you go, you can stay, earn, and redeem rewards with Marriott Bonvoy, a proud partner of the Big South Conference. Everyone dancing around, having a good time, entertaining first half. We'll break it down for you further when you come back to Kimmel Arena. Bulldogs leading by 2. Bulldogs lead by 2 at the break, and what every college basketball needs, a halftime dance party here at Kimmel Arena, as it has been an entertaining first half, and there have been plenty of moves been put on display. And you see Baker, the step-back triple, he's got a couple of those. as he leads the Bulldogs with 12 points, but it has been an up and down type of game. Baker leading the Bulldogs. Fleming with just 3 points. And then you see other contributors coming to the table. That was a nice one from Ty Jones, but the story perhaps is Mr. Travis Anderson, as he has 16 first half points. The Bulldogs did get their fast break points. They lead that category 13-4 from the first half. And then the senior on his senior night, and Jeremy Peck, has 6 first half points for the Bulldogs. It's all led up to a 40-38 UNC Asheville lead. And trust me, if it's anything as good as we saw in half number 1, you're going to want to stick around. Rocky is. Make sure you are too here on ESPN3 as we get set for a fun second half.
Geico makes it easy to get help when I need it, with licensed agents available 24/7.
Getting set for the second half. Teams making their final preparations before we get set to go. As Baker has been a big part of the story. He leads the Bulldogs with a dozen, has them out to a 2-point advantage as we get set for half number 2. But you got to know that Travis Anderson is going to have his say before this is all said and done. Come back and join us the second half, getting set to start here on ESPN3.
Geico makes it easy to get help when I need it. With licensed agents available 24/7, it's not just easy. It's having Jerome Bettis on your flag football team easy. Go get him, Bus!
Ooh. Come on, Bus. Come on. Hey, wait. Man, I got the flag. I got your flag, man. I got your flag.
It's Geico Easy, with licensed agents available 24/7.
49-0.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading protection to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
We do this every day for men suffering from prostate cancer. The Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute treats several types of cancers: breast, lung, prostate, head and neck, ocular, GI, brain and spine, pediatric. There are no hospital stays with proton beam radiation. The beam travels right to the affected area and stops, which leads to fewer side effects. Call us now. It could make all the difference.
Live your life. Let the Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute fight your cancer.
This Big South broadcast is brought to you in part by Pepsi, that's what I like, Marriott, the official hotel partner of the Big South Conference, and Hercules Tires, ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com.
These two teams played to a 2-point game last time they met, perhaps fitting. It's 2 points at the break here at Kimmel Arena. And a big part of the story for the Buccaneers has been Travis Anderson, 16 points, all while being really efficient, going 6 of 8 from the floor.
Yeah, it's just been all by the basketball play. The way that UNC Asheville has played Charleston Southern and guarding Fleming, there's going to be somebody open with the double team, and it's been Anderson. Anderson has been making UNC Asheville pay from beyond the arc, but not just beyond the arc, but mid-range and finishing at the basket. So he's had a great game thus far.
The leader for the Bulldogs, how about Devon Baker? Through 20 minutes, 12 points, 4 of 8 shooting. He's done it all, and really some really nice defensive plays as well. He's got a steal to his credit, a couple of deflections, leading the way for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and he started out a little slow. We talked about this. You know, he normally doesn't miss 3 shots in a row like that. But that 4th shot, once he got that thing in the basket, it was murder she wrote from there, and he's had himself a game thus far.
So we get set for the second half. Kyle Rush along with John Williams here alongside. John, what's your big takeaway from what you saw in the first 20 minutes?
Well, both teams are very similar. They like to get up and down the floor very fast before the defense gets set. They know that that's a priority because once they go against set defense, there's a lot of parity in this league like we talked about. It's tough to score on 5-on-5, but you can get an advantage by running the floor and out-hustling your team. So it's going to come down to who out-hustles who can play the best transition defense, and who can capitalize on their strengths.
How about the Buccaneers on the season? Just over 32% from three-point range so far tonight, 45%. They've hit 5 of 11. Charleston Southern, 59% from the floor. And you got to think that was an area of emphasis for Mike Morrell, is cutting down some of that efficiency for the Buccaneers in half number 2.
A lot of teams have higher shooting percentages against UNC Asheville. UNC Asheville usually allows that because of their high-risk, high-reward defense. And so most teams shoot out of their minds because of that, because UNC Asheville will press, they'll double team, they'll throw people at you, they'll throw you off your game a little bit, and what it does is it leaves somebody open, and if they're not in rhythm, it makes for a lower percentage shot. But like we talked about before, these are Division I players, and they don't need rhythm normally to make shots.
That's high percentage from Jones, who adds a couple to his total. He's now in double figures. 3 Buccaneers already in double figures. A possession into the second half. To your point, Asheville allows opponents to shoot right at the 50% plateau coming in. Wraparound pass. Jones sidestep 3-ball. No. The follow. Jude is there and delivers a deuce.
And UNC Asheville's going to have better rebounding opportunities going against Charleston Southern's 2-1-2 press or 2-1-2 zone that they just ran. And the weak side rebound is going to be available.
Anderson dances between the rings before handing it off. Jones. He's caught fire of late for the Buccaneers. Sidestep, gets to the midline, turnaround, jumper, too strong this time. And Thorpe's off and running for the Bulldogs. Sees the trailer, Euro steps right down Main Street and lays it in.
And that was a great finish from L.J. Thorpe.
And this will be a blocking foul as Thorpe hits the deck hard.
It looked like he might have got the wind knocked out of him there. Buskey's shoulder went right into his gut.
And He appears to be all right and walks it off, but hard-nosed foul right out of the gate, and Jeremy Peck will come in. And he got sidelined by some of those other stories, but he turned in a really nice first half. 6 points on his senior night, doing a lot of the little things. And you want an example of player movement, watch Peck in that first 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah, he's a facilitator, even though, and he's always talking. He sets fantastic screens. He hedges, he helps, he does what his job is supposed to be, and that's what you want out of a player, out of a senior.
Shot clock down to 10 for Buskey. He dances on Jones, goes right at him, draws the foul. Now we'll go to the line. 2 quick fouls on the Bulldogs this possession.
Buskey did a great job of jumping into Tajon Jones's chest and really initiating the contact. If Tajon Jones had kept his hands straight up, it would have just been a low percentage shot. But when he put his hands over the plane of the offensive player, that's when the referee can call a foul.
It's his second against Jones. Some foul trouble to note. Nathan Lewis, you didn't see much of him in that first half, largely because of Travis Anderson and the show he put on. But he had 3 fouls in that opening half. Now Thorpe and Jones for the Bulldogs with 2. Looking to spin, feeding the senior, and a tie-up will give it right back to the Bulldogs. And here you see Peck again, right place, right time. Bulldogs leading by 2. As Mike Morrell looks to call the side out. Got to find someone to get it to, and it is Peck, and he quickly hands to Batts Jr. as they reset the shot clock at 20. Peck perhaps with a mismatch. Double comes, and he turned it over. On the run, here's Fleming. One-on-one, he's so good from there, but how about the defense from Cody Jude to deny the easy one from Fleming?
Yeah, and that was one of the few missteps that we've seen Jeremy Peck make on the offensive end. Double team came, and that's respect right there. The fact that they threw another man at him, and so he just wasn't ready for that.
Anderson for 3 more. Yes. Oh my, what a half.
Yeah, you cannot allow that man to have that kind of daylight, especially the way he's shooting.
19 for Travis Anderson, and we have 17 and a half plus minutes remaining. Jones works his way into traffic. So many times when you have a big score, it's all right, we shut him down. Who else can step up? And it has been Anderson doing that and then some. Jude, tough fadeaway jumper, missed everything. Shot clock violation gives it right back to the Bucks. And in a game where we've talked about some offensive prowess, a nice defensive stand for Coach Raidball's club.
And one thing I'd like to see Cody Jude do more of is he has the capability of putting the ball on the deck. One of the things is if he doesn't have the catch and shoot, he's giving it up. And with the shot clock going down, you've got to start being the type of player that penetrates and pitches for your teammates as well.
Jones, the crossover and delivery.
Ty Jones is having himself a game.
He's done it with his back to the basket. That was the face-up. Then he gets put in the spin cycle. Ball popped loose, back out to the Buccaneers. Pitch back, 3 more, not this time. That was a deep triple from Anderson that he couldn't convert. His Buccaneers lead by 3 as the Bulldogs regain possession. One of those where you felt the Bulldog fans here at Kimmel take a brief sigh, knowing perhaps they might have dodged a bullet as Anderson got another good look.
Oh, yeah. And that's one of those situations where Charleston Southern can further that lead with a big 3 like that from Anderson.
Fleming with just 3 points. Back to Jones. He's open from the mid-range. Missed badly. Tajon Jones lost the handle, and as he dove for the ball, Jude went over and back as his shoulder blade hit the the half-court line, which in sense when you're in the front court is the out-of-bounds line. So the turnover will give it back to the Buccaneers.
So Mike Morrell is arguing about the fact that the ball was tipped away. I mean,
Right.
There was no possession there. And so I get it.
They blitzed Anderson off the screen. He couldn't find the open roll man. Buskey. How good of a jump shot does that look? Timeout, Bulldogs. The sharp shooting is continued for the Buccaneers, all without Mr. Fleming. It's been Travis Anderson and now Buskey joining the party. Largest lead of the game for Charleston Southerns at 5 with 15:47 to go. Pepsi is proud to be the official beverage partner of the Big South Conference Championships. Don't forget to pick up a delicious, refreshing Pepsi today. Pepsi, that's what I like. And, well, there's not been a lot to not like from Travis Anderson, setting his own record books, if you will. Already a career-high 19 points on 7 of 10 shooting. And, John, we got a long way to go in this one.
Yeah, and he's just scoring off a disciplined basketball there. I mean, he's the open man every single time, and they're just making the defense pay for it.
Quick drive. Jude thought about the corner three. Pump fake, side step. Got a look and buried it. Second time he's connected from downtown, and it pulls the Bulldogs within a pair. Now Buskey. Sidesteps, tries to answer for 3 of his own. Spun around and out. Second chance opportunity. Maybe short-armed it a little bit, and it's back over to the Bulldogs as Bowser got a good look at it, the sophomore out of Gaffney, but couldn't quite finish. That will lead us to a timeout. The 3 ball from Jude got him a little closer. His second triple, Mike Morrell trying to figure out answers.
Music make you lose control. Rock a showstopper, beats get it crunk and wired. Wave your hands, scream loud. Everybody here get it out of control.
Geico makes it easy to get help when I need it. With licensed agents available 24/7, it's not just easy. It's having Jerome Bettis on your flag football team easy. Go get him, Bus!
Ooh. Come on, Bus. Come on. Hey, wait. Man, I got the flag. I got your flag, man. I got your flag.
It's Geico Easy, with licensed agents available 24/7.
49-0. The Big South Sweepstakes is back for its 18th year. This year's sweepstakes grand prize package brought to you by Charlotte Marriott, City Center, and Pepsi. Head to BigSouthSports.com/sweepstakes to enter. Deadline to register coming up February 21st. As Judah hit the 3-ball right before the break, and now the Bulldogs a chance to tie or perhaps regain the lead with a trip this down if they can find a deuce here, and nearly ran their own man. Now Batts has some room to operate and foul going in. He'll try to tie it at the free throw line. But a lot of talk, a streak for the Buccaneers in jeopardy perhaps here, as Fleming has had 10 games in a row where he scored at least 10 points. He's got 3 right now, and the Bulldogs have locked him down defensively, doing a nice job, but it's a host of Bulldogs doing the scoring for Asheville.
One thing I talked to Coach Radebaugh about is about the type of player that Fleming is, that he does not care about the stats as long as they win. He's got that Westbrook mentality. You know what I mean? Like he just wants to make sure whatever the opening is or whatever the opportunity is, he wants to make sure that his team has the best advantage there. And so right now, if his team is flourishing because of that, he's going to keep doing it.
It's almost welcoming the double team. Yeah, go ahead. I got Zero and Gray lighting it up from downtown so
far. Keep doing that.
Jones missed the hook that time. He's had a nice game, but a foul on the offensive rebound attempt. It'll be the second team foul, as Stephanie was bumped. And for Jones, that's his first foul as well. How about the efficiency? Jones now 6 of 10. Anderson, who we alluded to, 7 of 10. The Bulldogs shooting it pretty well in their own right. 51% from the floor.
Yeah, and ultimately it's going to come down to who can get stops.
Batts misfired and got a flat tire on the way as he lost the shoe.
That shoe game is all the way off.
Buccaneers couldn't take advantage of a man advantage momentarily. Buskey back out to Jones. Thought about the mid-range, now backs his way in. Double comes, looks for help, finds it. Buskey, 3-ball, all halfway down and out. Batts, step back, over Fleming, drew the whistle. And a long look from Fleming at the official as he was called for the late whistle, and that'll give a good free throw shooter 3 opportunities at the charity strike.
That blank stare, though, did you feel it?
Yeah, I did.
Look at this.
There might be a hole in, the jacket over here on the left shoulder.
Yeah. Stared into that referee's soul.
You felt those stares as a player, right?
Oh, well, I've given them. Definitely given them.
Makes good on the first 2. The foul, the second whistled against Fleming, as Baker goes 3 for 3 in the strike. That puts the Bulldogs back in front by 1. And how many times the player, after a moment like that, you didn't think he committed the foul, you want the basketball the very next sequence. He saw Jones streaking for the rim, but misfired. And he's upset they weren't quite on the same page, and home crowd sensing the frustration, trying to let him hear it a little bit.
Yeah, the bench definitely was sensing that. But that was the right play. Ty Jones was wide open. That's the layup that you want. And I feel that must have been something that they talked about in the huddle or in the locker room during halftime, and it just wasn't executed right.
It's almost like the receiver ran the curl when he wanted to go. Jude got his man in the air, a rack attack, and he's fouled.
I would love to see Cody Jude do more of that because he's not a slow player. Once he does that pump fake, people are going up in the air, and he can get downhill pretty quickly. Why not work on that finishing package?
No timeout call. It is a 51-49 game as Jude will go to the free throw line. It'll be extended to immediate timeout. Cody Jude off that pump fake and drive. And partner John Williams wants to see more of it. He tries to extend a Bulldogs lead when you return. Jude makes good on both from the line and extends the Bulldog lead to 4. Matches the largest they've had in the ball game. It's been that type of game back and forth. Jones somehow kept possession of the basketball as he weaved out of trouble. And now the Buccaneers looking for a needed bucket after a couple of turnovers have helped them stretch the lead as Jones catches short corner, 10 to work. Face-up jumper, not this time. Long rebound, and it's a foul. It'll go against the Bulldogs as Alexander was grabbed trying to go get that rebound, and Morrell not a fan of the whistle.
I think he was more upset that Trent Stephanie did not see the rebound.
Right.
I just saw him mouth, "What is he doing?"
And didn't box out the man out. Fleming. Short corner goes to work. Perhaps a size mismatch there. He lost it on the way up. And it's another turnover. So Fleming, a couple times today, has turned it over. That's his 5th turnover individually. And not many times you see Fleming's turnover total higher than his point total.
And like you said before, you're seeing UNC Asheville blitz him. And so from that blitz, there's a lot of pressure every single time he touches the ball. There's going to be turnovers that happen because of that.
Asheville with a bucket would create their largest bit of separation on the day. Jude quickly gives it back up. Baker drives in traffic all the way to the 10 as the clock winds down.
What a finish from Devon Baker there, just really willing that shot into the basket.
And for Baker, that's his first points this half. Buskey misfire. Fleming nearly had his paws on a rebound. Instead, the Bulldogs go 3-on-3. Pull-up floater off the left side. No, big rebound inside from Ty Jones as he sensed momentum, perhaps slipping to the Bulldogs ever so slightly. Fleming finds Jones down low. The reversal pass finds a cutting Alexander who will go to the line. How about that example of sharing the sugar? It'll create a free throw opportunity when we come back. It's the Bulldogs by 6 on ESPN3.
This big
Hey fans, this March, the Hercules Tires Big South Men's Basketball Tournament could be held right here at Kimmel Arena. The tournament begins March 3rd with first round games, the quarterfinals, semifinals to be played at the number 1 overall seed March 5th and 7th. Highest remaining seed will host the title game on March 8th. Visit BigSouthSports.com for more information and how to watch your team compete for the title of Big South champion. We have seen a couple of championship efforts in this ball game, but recently it was the sharing of the basketball that leads to the free throw opportunity for Alexander, a 71% free throw shooter, misfired on the first, and that was a topic of conversation coming in, is trying to get to the free throw line for the Buccaneers. These are only their 5th and 6th free throw attempts all game long.
Yes, UNC Asheville's done a really good job of playing defense without fouling.
And he missed a pair, so a rare empty trip to the line for Alexander. And the lead holds at 6 for the Bulldogs. Nearing the 11-minute mark. Baker pulls up again, got the friendly bounce.
That's what Devon Baker does. Finishes the ball in tough ways. I mean, always. Wow, great defense, too.
And that time, Baker rejects the access for Buskey. Now hesitates. Bats going to work. Drive. Baker turned down a 3. Fader in the lane. Misfired. Fleming the rebound. Lead pass out quickly. Lewis. Drive. Inside. A nice feed to Jones, who lays it in. Back to a 6-point game. Stephanie at the controls. Ran a screen. Downhill. Teardrop. Good.
Great floater from Trent Stephanie there, getting downhill. We talked about Trent Stephanie being a freshman. He's one of the most talented ones in the Big South when he gets out of his head. Like, one of the things he can do is he can defend all positions, but then 3 levels.
There he goes again and finishes again. Right on cue, another strong take from the freshman. And the Bulldogs have their largest lead of the night at 10. Jones, jab step, thought about the face-up jumper, now goes to work. Turnaround, good.
Number 12, Ty Jones.
Thorpe tried to draw the call, didn't get it.
Oh, yeah, and Ty Jones, I mean, he's obviously looking for the physicality. And if you welcome it back, the referees aren't going to call anything.
Bats, hesitation, lob inside, Peck by his lonesome.
All created by Jeremy Peck's initial screen. Most of the time on scouting reports, they don't look at Peck on the inside on his roll. This time, you're seeing UNC Asheville do that.
Fleming, how about that find? Buskey off the mark, long rebound. Out of bounds will go to the Bulldogs. Another good find from Fleming, but unable to result in points. And John, at what point, as the team scoring leader and is the scorer that he is, does he say, okay, I got to find a way to get in the
He's got to go Mamba, you're saying?
Yeah.
When is it time? I would say it's a good time to start trying to, yeah, it's a good time to start really trying to inflict what you do best. And right now, he's just retreating, taking a double team, giving it up, and then UNC Asheville's making sure he doesn't get it back. And so understanding that that is the strategy, you still have to be effective by attacking the basket there.
Pulls down the rebound here, gives it up. Here's Anderson, draws the whistle, and hits the deck hard, and he'll try to build on what is already a career high as he'll go to the line to shoot a pair. And a lot on the line standings-wise is Charleston Southern trying to stay in that top 4 or 5 seeds to position themselves for a tournament run. But for these Buccaneers, a chance to sweep through North Carolina in conference play, something they've never done. And, you know, players always like fun stuff on road trips, right? And so Coach Radball has done that. For each road win, it's a trip for ice cream and milkshakes. And that probably enters a player's mind, trying to get one on the road.
Trying to get some ice cream and milkshake. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you right now, people think that when you become a grown-up, like you don't enjoy ice cream. You don't enjoy a good milkshake. Let me tell you right now, Cookout figured something out with what they do. Those Coke floats, those watermelon milkshakes, those are the bee's knees.
Guilty of a couple?
Yeah.
Well, if growing up means no ice cream and milkshakes, I got a long way to go. Baker again. It is a blocking foul, so we'll go to the line for a pair as Jones the guilty party. Another chance to stretch the lead out to double figures. This is not an unfamiliar position, as you alluded to it, John, at the top of the show. Oftentimes, the Bulldogs have found themselves 8-10 minutes to go, chance to go win the ball game. Then it's a matter of going out and trying to finish it. We'll see what the last 8 minutes transpires, but this has been a really locked-in team in the second half.
Yeah, and this is where IQ comes in to play, understanding, like, what's the best shot here. UNC Asheville, they play early in the shot clock, but you understand that you have time to your advantage. That means working your way to get the best shot, letting the offense work its way out, not rushing it and not letting Charleston Southern speed you up. And those are those little tidbits that lead to wins, controlling the game the entire span. And so that's what UNC Asheville is going to have to make sure that they capitalize on in this last 8-minute span, getting stops on one end of the floor, but then also taking care of the ball and getting a great shot instead of the good one.
Ty Jones found the great shot and the bump on the way in. He's got a chance for three the old-fashioned way.
Number 12, Ty Jones.
As he'll shoot the bonus.
Bulldogs number 2, LJ Thorpe.
And this would cut it back to a 7-point game. Jones has turned himself in quite the night as well, as that one pops down and out. He has 14 for the effort for Charleston Southern. Baker thought about a long three. He leads the Bulldogs with 19. Rips a pass over Jones in the corner. Now he has space to operate. Floater, no. Nearly got his own. Buskey comes out with it for the Bucks. Full steam ahead. Jones trying to find a cutting Fleming. Couldn't get it to him. Buskey operates around a screen, needs help, and now there's 15 on the timer. Good defense from the Bulldogs. Jones, long two, is short.
That was a great defensive stand for UNC Asheville. Now what they have to do is take care of the ball. Like you said before, share the sugar. Right?
Absolutely.
Hey, that's a big deal. Hey, I understand what you were saying there.
Or get a layup.
Yeah, or get a layup. When you think about this, you got neighbors. Neighbors sometimes are running out of stuff. You don't want to go to the grocery store. You got to share the sugar.
Fleming. Three ball on the way. Banked it in. Maybe that gets him going. As he banks in his second triple of the game, only with 6 points now. And you say only 6 points, but he's had 11 straight games of 10 or more. Trying to lead his Buccaneers back. They trail 67-60. Two youngsters having a good time here at Kimmel Arena this evening, and it has been a fun day of basketball. Second of a doubleheader here at Kimmel Arena today. The Bulldog women came away with a win over Winthrop, and now the men, led by Mike Morrell, trying to close the deal here. It's a 7-point lead for the Bulldogs as the Buccaneers got 3 right before the break from Fleming, who only has 6 on the day, a triple in each half. It has been the Baker Show for UNC Asheville as he leads with 23 points. That leads all scorers. It's Jude for 3 more.
That was a great find for LeVar Batts. Not only sharing the sugar, but sharing the bread.
Jude with 13, his third from downtown. Trying to answer with 3 of their own. And he's been quiet all game, but Nate Lewis, the senior, delivers a big triple.
We're glad to see Nate Lewis back out on the floor. He had that knee to knee with LeVar Batts, and you didn't know what was going to happen there.
Also had 3 fouls in that first half. As now he's tasked with slowing down Baker. Good luck. He pours in another.
Great finish from Devon Bacon. What we talked about before, he practices tough shots. That's a layup for him.
And here he picks up the foul, guilty of bumping Lewis on the way by, and that has the Bulldogs over the limit, so Lewis will go to shoot a 1-and-1. And as good of a free throw shooting team as the Buccaneers are, we mentioned close to 80%. Lewis just 57% at the line. And it's the old adage, a lot of coaches, Coach Radball among them, you miss the front end of a 1-and-1, it often can feel like a turnover, but no such miss here. That was perfect.
Oh yeah, that's a senior right there, you can tell.
One more remain. Got them both. And that cuts it back to a 7-point advantage. And Asheville's gotten it out to 10. They haven't been able to stretch past that by the last few minutes. The Buccaneers haven't been able to get it inside of 5 either.
And UNC Asheville's got to make sure that they continue to circulate stops on the defensive end. And then on the offensive end, getting a good shot.
And a foul called on Fleming. He didn't care for that one either. And one of his teammates jumps in, holds him back, as you saw where Fleming wanted the matchup there against Baker. And trying to argue that Baker lowered the shoulder, but to no avail. And Baker, who's been really good at the free throw line, a perfect 8 for 8, steps there now.
Yeah, and Flan Fleming is still staring into the soul of that referee. He's been soul staring a lot today.
Second pops in and out. 9 of 10, still pretty good at the stripe, but it keeps it at just an 8-point game. Buskey around a Fleming screen on Baker, lost the handle going up. Batts had it, corralled it, and foot on and off the accelerator. Now he'll back off as he bounces between the rings, trying to milk some clock.
Yeah, and this is where UNC Asheville needs to play for the great shot.
Lob inside. And how about the alertness inside? I believe it was Lexington to deflect the pass. It was open if Lexington doesn't get there to deflect it away. Now a loose ball foul, and it sends the Buccaneers to the free throw line. One of those types of plays when you're trying to close out a game that they can make a great pass, not only a turnover, but a chance for points from a man who's had an abundance of them today, and Anderson. First is good.
Anderson's done a really good job of just being everywhere, even on the defensive end. I mean, he finds his way to the free throw line to get himself more points.
Now with 23 on the night, his career high was it Campbell back in January. He had a mere 17. He about did that in a half here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Baker, you can tell he wants it. Fleming wants the matchup on him. Mano y mano go the two teams' leading scorers. Baker misfired, and a foul. That'll keep it on this end of the floor.
And that's what Cody Peck brings to the table. More opportunities for his team to get the ball, get the rebound, second chances.
That is team foul number 7, so Peck will be at the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Peck traditionally is not a great free throw shooter.
The reverse announcer jinx as he rolled it in.
You're welcome.
If he connects on this one, he'll have double figures on his senior day. And you say, well, usually you save that for your last home game, which Asheville has more of, as that one just popped out. But scheduling-wise, worked better for his family to get down here. He's a native of Houston, Texas, so it worked out scheduling-wise. And him being the lone senior said, why not? And he's performed to the spotlight.
And he's done a fantastic job tonight.
9 points now, 5 rebounds to go along with it. 7-point lead for his Bulldogs with 4 to play. Pass nearly taken away. Now Baker with his dribble, shuffled his feet, going to work on Jones.
See, this is that time frame where UNC Asheville has to take care of the ball.
So a turnover gives them back to the Buccaneers. They try to get on the comeback trail when you return on ESPN 3. .354 to go. Well, while we have a moment, let's visit our Hercules Tires strong play of the game. And not much stronger than a rack attack that time from Tajon Jones, 2 of his 7 points. As Hercules Tires, that's our strong move of the game, brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. And the strength of the Bulldogs has been this defense honing in on the Buccaneers, but a costly turnover. And a couple have crept in here late. And you say that'll be key, taking care of the basketball and an up-tempo team trying to dial it back, slow it down, milk the clock with a 7-point lead.
Yeah, which can be tough, especially when you're so used to going. But if you're UNC Asheville at this point, you got to protect your chicken. Make sure that you're doing your job, take care of the ball.
Alexander misfires on the triple. Just a 30% shooter on the year, a percentage and a shot that if you're the Bulldogs, you live with 3.5 to go. Bats downhill, lost the handle, but he was bumped on the way in. That'll result in free throws coming. Bats a really good free throw shooter, nearly 71% coming in.
At the line shooting a 1-and-1.
On a season, the Bulldogs as a team, just 64% from the line and John, the way this one's going, you got to figure that's going to be an important part of the story. The last 3:22 as he rolls that one in.
Yeah, can you make the free throws? Can you make the easy baskets that's given to you? LeVar Bats makes some tough shots, and we've seen it. But can you make the ones that are free?
Made both. Back up to a 9-point advantage, and stage of the ball game where if you're the Buccaneers, it hasn't been his day so far, but perhaps you get Fleming to try to take it over for you. Jones shakes and bakes, drives in the paint. Tough turnaround with the right hand, finishes.
Yeah, Ty Jones is just, there hasn't been an answer for him either, because he's just such a dynamic player that can take you inside, and then if he's got a mismatch on a post player, he can drive by you and finish.
Jones now with 20 in his own right for the Buccaneers. Drive now, Baker. Works, double comes. Much like the Fleming approach the Bulldogs have had. Baker scribbles out of it. Couldn't quite hit the mid-range. Alexander pulls down the rebound. It's the first time, by the way, that Jones has hit the 20-point mark this season since their opener against Columbia International. He's got it again, looking for 22. Got it.
It's just not much he can do. He sees the mismatches. He's going to take advantage of those.
So he dances to another deuce. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. It's a 5-point advantage and a couple of buckets now from Jones, who's starting to getting it going a little bit. And it's one of those you got to think, okay, Jones is starting to go. The approach has been effective on Fleming, and you keep the strategy you've had on Fleming, or do you maybe shift it more to who's hurt you in this game, the final 2:20?
I'd say you just keep playing basketball. Like right now, you take advantage of your mismatches. There has not been a mismatch for Fleming yet.
Right.
And so there hasn't been any switch ups. There hasn't been any ball, like pretty much the ball screen action is a double team. It's just low percentage shots that he's been given. But out of that, there's a shining point with guys like Ty Jones and Anderson and Blusky, who are all capable players. But what UNC Asheville's strategy is to get the ball out of Fleming's hand and let the rest of the team beat them.
It'll be Bats across the timeline. His Bulldogs nursing a 5-point lead. Bats tries to turn the corner, finds Jude at the last moment. Jude got the deuce.
That's a big finish for UNC Asheville, especially when Charleston Southern was encroaching on the score.
It's one you don't get to stop. It stays a 5-point game, and then all of a sudden the Bucks get a bucket, and just like that, you're looking at a one-possession contest. Instead, it's 7. Buxley misfires the 3. Long rebound. Alexander able to save it somehow. What a play to keep it alive as he found Anderson. Fleming looks to dance. Step back. 3 and 1. And just like that, the presence of Fleming scoring the basketball is felt.
And that's Fleming getting what we call it baby daylight. There was none at all. I mean, that's a bucket that he just said, I got to get this. But that's what makes him one of the best players in the Big South.
Not many defenses for that one, as he'll go to the line for the 4-point play. And when the Bucks needed it the most, Fleming delivered and puts to bed that notion that he might not get double figures for the 12th straight game, as he now has 10. And just like that, it's a 3-point game. 1:20 to go. Backing his way in. Couldn't finish. No call the other way. Morrell can't believe it on the sideline. Here comes Fleming again. Finds that man Anderson for 3. Not this time. Rebound to the Bulldogs.
My goodness, that is way too open. There was a misassignment somewhere.
You could sort of feel the anxiety in this home crowd as he let that 3-ball fly. Mike Morrell calls timeout with 55 seconds to go. It's a 3-point game. Boy, what a finish we have in store. You mentioned how big that score was from Jude. If it weren't for that, it'd be just 1 after the 4-point opportunity from Fleming. And you got a sense okay, if you're the Bulldogs, he's sensing it's crunch time. He needs the ball in his hands, and after hitting that one, that could be one that sparks him for the last minute for the Bucks.
You have no idea what's going to happen. That's the cool thing about the Big South is there's games like this every night. The style that UNC Asheville plays, it's going to be like this where you don't know what's going to happen. It's fun, but it's also stressful. You see what I mean? Like this crowd out here, nobody's leaving early. Right. Everybody's in here just like, what is going to happen? I see grown-ups sweating.
It's fun for us as broadcasters, maybe a little more stressful on the fans, certainly as the coaches. But it's all part of the parity we talked about at the top. And something else we mentioned, you got to go back to the start of conference play. The first 5 conference games for the Bulldogs, all decided by 2 points. Asheville won 1 of those 5. It came against this club from Charleston Southern.
And their style of play is going to create those situations where they will always be in the games. Now they have to work on fine-tuning and closing.
You said it at the 8-minute mark when the Bulldogs led by 10. We'll see how Asheville finds a way to close it out at home. With 55 seconds to go, they lead by 3 as they have the basketball. Redshirt sophomore LeVar Batts at the controls.
This is a pivotal play. You got to make sure that you try to get the ball in the basket and get a great shot.
Crowd rising to their feet at Kimmel, hoping for another good moment. Tough shot, popped halfway in and out. Long rebound to the Buccaneers. It's a 3-point game. Fleming with the basketball. Down the stretch we go at Kimmel. Anderson for the tie. In and out, no good. Loose ball. It's out of bounds. It'll stay with the Buccaneers. The Bulldogs want them to look at it, and I believe they may come over to do just that.
And that's wild how there was nothing but white jerseys around the ball, and they all like fall to the ground going away from the ball.
So we have the verdict. The call on the floor is confirmed. It'll stay Buccaneer basketball after a long review, and you like to see him take the time to get it right. And you saw every look they were looking at as they were. Quick inbound. 3 on the way. No, he was on the out-of-bounds line. It's back to the Bulldogs. Wipe 3 more off the board. Oh, mercy. That close to a tie, and now they want to look at this one. Perhaps. At least, certainly, Coach Radball does, so they may take a look. It's a big shot in the difference that if it's good, it's a tie game. We'll see if we can get another one if they want to take a look at it, and that is exactly what they do. They call a timeout with 19.2 to go. And you see the look. Man, I tell you what, that is close. It looks like that left foot.
Ooh, that's close, man.
It's a matter of that much on whether it's tied. The officials have not come over to take a look. But you see, it looks, at least from this vantage point, that I think the middle of that foot just hit the out-of-bounds line.
Like, that's tough, man.
That is the difference between us being tied and a 3-point game. It's the left foot right there.
Yeah.
And I think a great call on the spot from our officiating crew. And I think that's one, even if you show Coach Radball, that he says, all right, they got it right. 19.2 to go, though. Still a long time to go in this basketball game, especially considering on a foul, the Bulldogs shooting a 1-and-1. If you're UNC Asheville, who are you trying to get the ball to here?
I'm going to Devon Baker. I mean, he's been the main consistent shooter from the free throw line. I'd probably try to get Jeremy Peck out of there. Go to Cody Jude and bring him in there just so you got some free throw shooters or guys that you feel comfortable to knock that down.
They do get it to Baker. He's fouled. Buskey commits the foul. It's his 3rd. Baker at the line has been a cool 9 for 10. But the most important one he'll shoot is the 11th. A 3-point advantage, and either way, if you're the Buccaneers, make or miss, still a lot of time left in this basketball game.
Number 20, Devon Baker.
And you think it's a strategy where they need a 3 either way? You still got a time for a quick 2 if you're the Bucks.
I think that you've got time, that, depending on if Devon Baker makes this. I'd go for a 3 now. But you still have some time, if push comes to shove, to speed up UNC Asheville and use their youth to their disadvantage, where you could get another quick one in from that.
Second one pops out, 4-point game. 15 seconds to play. Buskey, 3-ball. That one's off the mark. Long run. Batts has the rebound. 8 seconds to go, and he dribbles around and will finally get fouled with 7.5 seconds remaining. And it'll be 2 free throws as Buskey's 3-ball just went begging. He is fouled out of the contest, and a roll of the head from Barclay Radball, the head coach in his 15th season. And you go back and think how close that 3 from Anderson was to counting. As Batts will shoot a pair.
Well, either way, I know that was a great play. Great play drawn up from Coach Radabah to get Anderson the ball. And obviously, he stepped on that line barely, but it sets you up.
Both are missed. Fleming's got to hurry. Down by 4, deep 3, well off the mark, out of bounds. That will do it. The Bulldogs complete the season sweep of Charleston Southern, winning another nail-biter, 79-75, your final. And John, it was a thriller from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, and kudos to Coach Radabah. I'm still taking my guys to Cookout to get some milkshakes.
Man, we had some big-time playmakers, but Devon Baker for the Bulldogs, our player of the game, the difference.
Yeah,
he
Devon
finishes with 8 of 14 from the floor, How about that point total?
Yeah, Devon Baker had a fantastic night tonight. Started out a little slow, but started putting the ball in the basket. Once he saw it going once, he took advantage of it and then just was on a roll from then on.
Another Big South contest comes down to the last minute, and you talked about it with 10 to go. Can they find a way to close? The Bulldogs do just that, winning 79-75. They improved to 6-8 in conference play, and really helps create more of a logjam in a crowded Big South Conference. For our entire crew, a special thanks to my partner all day long, John Williams. I'm Kyle Rush saying so long for now. An entertainer in Kimmel, but it's the Bulldogs who come away with a 79-75 win. This has been a broadcast of ESPN.